An experience I hope no straight man ever has to go through is being confused for gay by the opposite sex, and especially by women that you find attractive. It is a huge blow to your self esteem. It doesn't feel good. And this is something I was experiencing, guys. And it's pretty embarrassing to admit, but it was one of the wake up calls I needed to get my fitness in check, start taking myself more seriously, and get lean, right? Because there's nothing more um, damaging to your self esteem than, being confused for gay, right? And this is something that was like happened to me more than a couple times, I'll mention, right? It happened to me one time where one girl directly said it to me, a girl I was talking to. And it happened to me a few other times with people asking my friends, "Hey, is he gay or is he straight?" Right? And that confusion is just like a blow to your self esteem because you're like, "What am I doing wrong? What am I putting out there that is giving off this vibe?" Right? And so that was happening to me, and then I got lean, guys. I got my shit together, and that is not happening to me anymore, right? And so back when uh, I was being accused of this, um, not that it's like anything wrong, right? I'm just saying like that's what people were saying about me. I thought it was because of my voice, right? Because if you notice when I talk, I kind of have a little bit of a California tinge, California Valley tinge to it, right? That's just where I grew up, right? I'm born and raised here in California. And so I have that sort of like tinge in my voice, right? When I started traveling to other states, I really noticed it, right? Because people are like, "Yo, you sound like a Valley girl a little bit," and I was like, "Oh shit, I guess I do, huh?" It is what it is, guys, But back then, I was thinking, "Oh my God, do I need to change my voice? Do I need to practice speaking more quote unquote manly, whatever that means, And it was really messing with me, right? But when I really looked inside and first of all, I saw my all my body fat, right? I was huge, right? Or I had excess body fat on my chest, my stomach, my arms, right? I just looked big, guys, and it's crazy to see the pictures, right? But this was not helping, right? All of that body fat produces estrogen, right? And so maybe in my mannerisms, I was acting a little more feminine, even just in my output, right? And if you think about women, women are very um, emotional, but like they pick up on like people's vibes and whatnot. And, a lot of estrogen can make you kind of give off that feminine vibe, dude. And so that's one thing that, I started to think about. I'm like, yo, I think this could be affecting me. Also, guys, I think I was also just drinking too much, right? And so when I was drinking, I was kind of uh, being really loud. I was like, partying a lot, and I was kind of giving off like too much of a like, I don't want to say friendly vibe, but just like very, I don't know, just I guess performative could be the right word, right? Where I'm just trying to be like a party person, and that was also giving off a vibe. Whereas now that I'm lean, I'm very reserved. I'm very like almost like playing chess because I'm just like so calm, guys. I'm so in my body that like I'm a lot more reserved, um and so that gives off more of a like masculine vibe compared to being drunk all the time, being all excited and like happy and dancing and like just like being really loud, you know what I mean? So I think that was sort of what was happening to me, and so once I got my fitness in check, I fixed my nutrition, consistent gym, weightlifting, consistent cardio, and this body fat started to come off. The switch was crazy, guys, and these accusations of being gay have not come from any women, In fact, it's almost been the opposite, right? Women are like, yo, I love his vibe. I love how he acts, right? I've been told by some of my friends that are girls, right? Hey, you remember this chick? She actually hit me up. She's like, "Holy crap! Like, he's looking really good. Like, can we hang out with him? Can you invite him to this thing? I'd love to for him to come to this thing that we're all hanging out with." And the change has been crazy. Whereas those same girls, I kid you not, one of these girls who asked this of my friend was one of the ones who thought I was gay. No joke. She was like one of the ones that had thought that, and now she's hitting up my friend like, "Yo, can you invite him to this thing because he's looking like really good, So it's just insane the switch up, right? And just what that extra body fat is actually doing, for your like social output, right? Like the way you're portraying yourself, right? The body fat is not just messing with your internal organs, and visceral fat isn't just like poisoning your body, but it's also affecting your social interactions, guys, which is so so crazy, right? And so, even though I still speak like this, and I thought that that was the source of my problem, it's very clear that that was not, and it was an internal issue of of just having too much body fat, and of course also confidence, right? I definitely have a lot more confidence now, and frankly, I just don't care, right? If there's like a girl who doesn't like vibe with me, I don't care, right? Because it's just an easy thing in my life now, and I'm not really relying on that for validation, honestly, And there's so many women, guys. I'm so lucky. I live in a city with so many beautiful women. If one just doesn't care, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll move on to the next one. So, um, if you're getting these accusations, if that happens, if people are mistaking you for gay, first of all, there's something wrong, right? If you're straight, right, and you're being mistaken for gay, you're putting out some sort of energy out there to the opposite sex that's that is giving off that energy, and more often than not, this is easily fixed by just getting rid of your body fat, trying to get lean, fixing your diet, and taking yourself more seriously, guys. And like I said, the switch up has been crazy. I haven't changed anything. I'm still the person I am. I still love to go to like, shows with the music I like, right? I love to go dancing, I still love to like hang out with people. I still love the things I do. I'm kind of a nerd, so I still love video games, and nothing's changed, guys, other than just my output and how I'm being portrayed by the world, right? And again, another part of being lean, which is so messed up. You're like, yo, I haven't changed. I'm the same person, right? But again, it's how the world is seeing you. And so if you're getting these sort of signals from the world, guys, it's time to get your physique in check. Trust me, it's just going to fix everything. And you're definitely not going to be mistaken for gay, guys. And it was a rough place to be, honestly. Excuse me. It's such a rough place to be. And so if you're getting that, I feel for you, man, but there's a way out. Get lean, get your physique in check, get to that under 15% body fat threshold. Trust me, no one's going to be thinking you're gay, and everyone's going to be wanting uh, to have some fun with you. I'll leave it there. But yeah, guys, thanks so much. Leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch y'all on the next one later, y'all.